Let's look at how you can take the data from your database and convert it into PDF. We're going to be doing this in 2 steps. The first step will be rendering out the data in HTML, and the second step will involve converting this HTML to PDF. Don't worry if you don't have too much experience writing HTML or even know what HTML is, because along the way, we're going to be using AI to help us generate the HTML we will need to convert our data to PDF. For this demo, the data that we will be converting to PDF will come from a Firestore collection. This may sound complicated, but in reality, it is not, because we will be using BillShip. BillShip is a low-code visual backend builder that you can use to build APIs, schedule tasks, AI-powered backends, and much more. And as you'll come to see, by using BillShip, we'll be able to build our entire backend in low-code style. Let's get started. The great thing about BillShip is that you don't always have to start from scratch. Time is precious, and you can save time by using any of the existing templates here to quickly get started building your next project. And luckily for us, there's an existing Firestore to PDF template that we can use. We'll select this template, and this will create a fully working workflow that we can deploy and start using right away. But first, let's understand how this workflow works. First, we have a REST API called Trigger. In BillShip, a trigger is responsible for kickstarting the execution of the workflow. And there's other triggers that you can use as well. For example, there's a Stripe trigger for processing Stripe events, and there's a schedule trigger for executing your workflow at schedule intervals. But we're using the REST API call, which will give us a publicly accessible API endpoint that we can use to trigger our workflow. The endpoint path is currently set to Firestore to PDF, and the HTTP method is set to GET. The next step is to retrieve the data we want to convert to PDF. As mentioned in the beginning of the video, this data will stem from a Firestore collection. For this, we will be using the collection query node. This is just one of the many nodes that BillShip gives us for performing operations on the database that comes with every BillShip workspace. This collection query node will return a list of items from the specified collection, in this case, customers. We're setting the limit to 50, and for now, we can just ignore the filters and order by inputs. Now we're at the crux of this workflow. That is to take the data we retrieved from the customer's collection and render it all out in HTML. More specifically, we want to display it in an HTML table. To do this, we are using this node that will display an array of objects in a styled HTML table. This node is special in that it was generated entirely with AI by using BillShip's Generate with AI feature. But before we dive any further into this node, let's see how you can generate any HTML you want from an existing design using ChatGPT. By using the vision feature of ChatGPT, you'll be able to upload the image of any web UI and have ChatGPT generate the HTML code for it. We're interested in generating HTML for a table, so we'll upload a sample table design for reference. And for the prompt, we're just telling ChatGPT to return the HTML code for the image we provided. Great, as you can see, ChatGPT was able to generate the entire HTML code for the table design we gave it. Awesome. Now let's see how we can take this HTML and combine it with BillShip's Generate with AI feature to render the customer's data in this HTML table. We'll copy this code and head back to BillShip. First, we'll delete this node, then we'll generate it over again with AI so that you have a solid understanding of how BillShip's Generate with AI feature works. Notice how the HTML content of the HTML to PDF node is currently set to not found. This is because we deleted the render HTML node. So let's add it back. Let's add a new node. This time, we'll select Generate with AI. This is where you would enter the description for the node that you want to generate. You should try to provide detailed descriptions for more accurate results. We want to render an array of objects in an HTML table, so this is the prompt we'll be passing. I need a node that will display an array of objects in an HTML table. The table header should be the keys of the object, and make sure to use the following as reference for the design of the HTML table. Now on a new line, we'll copy the HTML code for the table that we generated using ChatGPT. And now we can click Generate. Amazing. BillShip was able to generate this node for us without requiring us to write a single line of code. But if you're still curious to know how this node works, then you can always take a look at the underlying code that was generated. Now we need to select the data we want to render in this HTML table. For this, we'll select the customers returned from the collection query node. And the last thing we need to do is fix our HTML content here in the HTML to PDF node. We want to use the value returned from our AI generated node. This node will take our HTML and convert it to PDF and then save it to a local file path. Next, we want to upload our PDF to storage. For this, we'll be using the upload file node, which is just one of the many nodes that BillShip provides for working with the storage bucket that comes with every BillShip workspace. The local file path of the file we want to upload is retrieved from the HTML to PDF node, and the destination is set to firestore.pdf. The upload file node will return a public download URL that we can use to preview our PDF. The next thing to do is to return this URL. For this, we're using the return node. We're setting the status to OK, and the value is set to the download URL of the upload file node. Let's test that our workflow is working as expected. BillShip gives us the ability to test the entire workflow and even provides more granular testing by testing the individual nodes in the workflow. But we're interested in testing that the entire workflow is working. To begin, we'll click Test, and our workflow is not expecting any additional query parameters or body payload, so we can start testing immediately. Nice, our test was successful, and because the last thing we do is return the download URL of the PDF, this is the value we get in the result. You'll also notice that each node has a green icon, indicating that the test for each node was also successful. And if we had any failing tests, then you would see a red exclamation mark instead. You can click on the icon to view the result returned by each node. Let's click on the one for the collection query node. And here we can see that we are getting back all the customers in our customers collection. This is the data we expect to be displayed in our PDF. Now let's take a look at our generated PDF. We'll copy the download URL and we'll open it in a new tab. Great, as you can see, all the customers from our Firestore collection are being rendered in this HTML table. You may notice that the styling is a bit off from the initial design that we gave ChatGPT, but for the purposes of this demo, this is close enough. And that's how easy it is to take any data from your database and convert it to PDF by using BillShip. In this demo, we use the data from a Firestore collection, but you can easily modify this template to use any data source of your choice. For example, you can use BillShip's integration with Supabase or Postgres and much more. Don't let the fear of writing code hold you back. Give BillShip a try today and start bringing your ideas to life. That's all we have for today, and see you in the next one.